what was decided in the committee meeting today?
There was no decision on a specific testing regimen at Riverside Park, but the motion was to learn more about what that would look like. And the original motion was to go forward with doing 20 tests in Riverside Park. The amendment was to refine that and have our environmental consultant come back and really specify where those tests would be done in the park. And we want to make sure that we aren't testing on the north end of the park where there's really no concern. The concern is nearer the former industrial sites. So that would be our area of focus. So we had an address for half an hour today. We had a presentation from the Citizens for Clean Wausau, and they brought up a number of suggestions and as far as where to test areas within the park property and for the substances for which we should be testing. So our consultant is going to take those suggestions under consideration and come back with more information on where to test within the park, what to test for, and approximately how many tests he would recommend in order to get a good picture of, how many tests do we need to do here before we can safely say we know the level of concern, if there is a level of concern. The original recommendation from the consultant was that we just wait and see and wait on the tests that are being done on surface soils in the neighborhood that have been ordered by the DNR. The committee wanted more than that, so the consultant came back and said, I would suggest you do 20 soil borings, and each soil boring would have surface soil test, a test at depth. They would take vapor, they would extract vapor from the hole and to check for volatile organic compounds. And they would also drive a well point down each boring to check groundwater samples. So they're really getting 4 things with each boring. But I asked between meetings if we could also have a proposal that would involve 6 tests as an initial, like a starting point. Let's look and see what we got with 6, and then maybe, if they come up relatively low numbers, maybe we don't need to do any more. Or maybe we need to go further to the left or further to the right, depending on where we might find some issues. So we're going to know more, and we're going to hope to address this at our next regular meeting, which is Monday, August 5.
My only question that I have is, for the first time tonight, we heard a few comments from the mayor who had some concerns when it comes to the city financially and also legally, almost placing blame. What's your reaction to the comments the mayor read off today?
Well, one of the things that the mayor covered is that our Park and Recreation Committee can recommend anything we want to, but then it has to be funded. And so we need to check with the Finance Committee, would have to review our request for professional work, and then the full council would have to approve it. And so it was part of my motivation to let the 6 test package, maybe that would stand a better chance of approval. But the other tricky thing that the mayor brought up that our on board, our city environmental engineer pointed out, is that if Waleco, the polluter who is now being held responsible for the cleanup, if they find contamination in the neighborhood, they will be made responsible for that contamination. If we find it, it's on us. And we have no, we have a sense that we don't have a problem there, which is why we're letting people roam around freely in the park, and we aren't doing anything about it, but we don't know that. So, you know, it's a concern.
So then just exactly what is the biggest concern right here? Is it the cancer diagnosis that has been talked about a little bit tonight?
I don't know.
Or is it public health hazards?
We don't know what's there. I mean, we know that there were exceedances and exceedance at one test site in the park, and I think it was 1996. I'm not dead sure of the date. But my proposal would be to start from that site where there was a problem in the past, and fan out from there, do half a dozen tests, and see what you get. But we honestly don't know what's down there. And we've asked the DNR, and it's cumbersome, but we asked the DNR, what do you think we should do? And, you know, they don't have any evidence or really any inclination to believe that there's a problem there. So they aren't willing to suggest or order any testing down there. So whatever the city is doing is to find out if the residents of our city are in any danger and to put their minds at ease.
And one of the things that was brought up today was this kind of falls under the jurisdiction of the DNR. So can you talk about whether or not the committee has faith in the DNR? Because the testing needs to be, completed, which is being done now, and then the DNR has to, sign off on the results. So why is the city kind of stepping forward?
We've got two different things going on. The DNR is ordering Waleco to do the surface soil tests and has a regimen for them to do that. And I think there may be varied opinion on the committee as to whether the DNR is a trustworthy agency. I happen to believe that they are honorable people and that they have a process that they've used for umpty decades, and they have developed a system using certified laboratories to do testing, and that they can have confidence in those results.
I'm all set.